Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out here. Today, the news reaching our decks today is from ex-president Goodluck Jonathan. We all know while he was president, a lot of people had different opinion and different thoughts, school of thought about him. Some felt that he was very weak. Some felt that he was being controlled by some certain persons, and a whole lot of mixed feelings about Goodluck Jonathan, but during his time, he did what he could do, and now he's left. And we all remember recently, just a couple of days ago, Minister of Aviation stated that they want to honor Goodluck Jonathan, that he has contributed immensely to our economy, and they are naming, in honor of that, they are naming a railway in Warri, a railway station that has just been completed. They are naming it after him. So, but however, today Jonathan has got this to say, and it's a strong one. He's got this message to say. But before we go right into the news, and please, if you haven't yet subscribed to us, do click on the subscribe button down below, and also do give us a thumbs up. Do hit on the like button just to let us know that you do appreciate what we're doing here. So right, let's go back into the news for today. Support Africa with test kits, funds. Jonathan urges stronger economics, W.H.O, and others. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has urged stronger economies and international agencies like the World Health Organization, WHO, to support the efforts of African nations towards procuring necessary equipment and kits to enable them conduct aggressive testing that would make the current lockdown imposed on the cities more productive. The former president also appealed to international financing and donor agencies, as well as creditor nations, to consider granting economic palliatives, including debt relief or placing moratorium or repayments to help weaker nations cope with the economic difficulties brought upon them by the COVID-19 pandemic. According to Jonathan, in a statement by his media advisor, Mr. Ikechukwu Eze, stated this while speaking as a panelist in an international web-based conference organization by the Universal Peace Federation (UPF) with the theme Governance Challenges in the Era of Coronavirus Pandemic. The other panelists included Mr. Stephen Harper from Canadian Prime Minister, Mr. Sang Hon-yu, South Korea Parliamentary, and Dr. Thomas Walsh, UPF chairman. The former president also called for greater synergy among different levels of government to ensure that whatever measures are adopted in dealing with the pandemic will achieve the desired result. He recalled that when Ebola hit Nigeria and some other African countries in 2014, under his presidency, Nigeria was able to effectively contain the spread by adopting proactive measures that ensured effective collaborations between states and the federal government, as well as mobilized support from the civil society, private sector, and the international community. Speaking on the imperative of aggressive testing on the African continent, he said, "It is true that many African nations are observing lockdown of cities and maintaining isolation centers. But if there is no effective testing, locking down populations, as currently obtainable in many African countries, may not be very effective. This is because people within the communities will continue to spread the virus even without knowing." So, my people, this is the news reaching us at the moment. This is from former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and he has spoken. He has sent out this message to. He is stating that stronger economies. Yes, let's start from there. Stronger economies, and he's also urging the World Health Organization and others that they need to support Africa. I wonder why he's saying stronger economies. What have we been doing to our country since we didn't prepare for this? We didn't prepare for this. You're talking about stronger economies. We should have made our economy strong by now by equipping our health care system. Now we always want to play that, oh, we are Africans, so they will hold pity party for us. When are we going to wake up from all of this? I mean, this pandemic, it is a good thing that this pandemic is plaguing the whole world at this time. If it was just Nigeria, we would say, oh, this cross is too much for us, so we can't carry it. But it's happening in a time where it is the whole nation, and each country are doing what they can to manage it, to curtail the spread and everything. But what do we get from our own country? Our own country is just a shame that this pandemic has really exposed the government, has exposed presidency. A lot of people didn't have confidence, or they didn't have confidence, and they've not seen what President Muhammadu Buhari has been doing. But we can see, it's very obvious that this pandemic has brought a lot of revelations, shocking revelations, that they cannot even give palliatives to citizens to cushion the effects. We can see that let's check with other countries in America and even in United Kingdom, what they did, that this palliative, they even made a certain amount of money available to the illegal residents in the country, people who are there illegally. They are even thinking about them. What do you think they would do for their own citizens? This is what we have in Nigeria. Our own case in Nigeria is different, and now ex-president Goodluck Jonathan is crying that stronger nations should help us. How do those nations become strong? They became strong because of not heeding to corruption, not allowing the money of the country, the funds of the country, to remain in the hands of certain lawmakers and certain politicians. That is how they became strong, and that's how to do things. Now we are crying to them that this thing is too much. They need to help us with kits, test kits. They need to help us with funds. Now they are asking for other nations to come and give us relief. What sort of relief when you have not even helped your own citizens? Nigeria has the capacity to help even our own citizens, but we are not doing that. If we check all the lawmakers, is it what they earn that they are really living by? If we check all of them, the other day, Saraki came out to say President Buhari is corrupt, totally corrupt. He was the former Senate president. He knows all that goes on within this. And to even talk about that, Saraki, when that news broke out about him speaking about President Muhammadu Buhari as being corrupt, Nigerians they didn't take it lightly with him. They asked him, what about you, sir? During your tenure, were you not corrupt as well? How many fraud allegations are on your head? We can imagine all of these fraud allegations they are talking about. So it's Nigerians' money, the money that is made to develop our country. That is what we are hearing all about in the air, like vague things. They are not vague things, so they are real things. They are the monies of Nigeria. Now they are Goodluck Jonathan is crying that they should give us debt relief. How did we get into too many debts in the first place? And we are not seeing the effect. At least if you are borrowing money to do things for the economy, to equip your hospital, to bring your infrastructure to standard, to bring your power sector, electricity up to standard, we'll know that things are happening in the country. We really need to move out of this era of what all of these politicians and all these our lawmakers are doing. It's truly sad, and it's really, really, really sad the way their selfishness and the level of their corruption, Now we are crying out. See what coronavirus has done. We are crying out that we know many African countries are observing lockdown, they're observing isolation, but they really need support from stronger economies. Nigerians, let's ask them, who made their economics strong? Who made those economics strong? How many of those? How many league? Go and check Boris Johnson and even Trump, that is president now. All the whatever is enjoying, is it from? Did he loot it from the country? Let's not go into that. It's truly annoying, and it's truly sad what's happening in our country. I hope God will deliver us from the hands of these terrible lawmakers. My people, that's the news reaching us at the moment. Please do leave your take, share your thoughts on what Goodluck Jonathan has said, crying for help from stronger nations. We do want to hear from you. Let's get into a decent conversation. And we want to take this time to say thank you to everyone that have subscribed. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed to us, do click on the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit on the like button just to let us know you do appreciate what we're doing. Do give us a thumbs up. So till I come your way again, it's bye for now, and God bless.